Good morning, guys. I am in my kitchen making a little bit of lunch. I'm going to try this Carne Picada. I looked it up and it is beef. It's 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio, right at it. It might be a little bit off, but it's right at 1-to-1. So I was gonna try it and see kind of if it was any different than eating the ground beef. The price on it at Walmart was $6.48 a pound, which I'm spending about the same amount with the grass-fed beef. So I'm just gonna see what it tastes like and see if it's any good. It looks kind of bland, but if you think about it, so is ground beef. It's pretty good. It is pretty fatty, but I think it's kind of like if you took a sirloin steak and chopped it up real fine and then added a little bit of beef tallow to it. I think it'd be kind of like that. It's not extremely tender, but it's not tough either. It's okay. I probably wouldn't buy it again because I can do the same thing with ground beef. The other day when I did the video about my organized chaos, I am excited. I'm going to have a few days off this week. So I have my to-do list made out. Hopefully I can get my grandkids too for a couple of days. And I can do a lot of the stuff I have listed while they're here and they can pitch in. I'm hoping to get the tree house done. Maybe they can help me with that and make them feel involved. That'd be awesome. There's a few other things I've got to do. But I mentioned also in that video about the boards that were on the floor of that tree house. Now, I took those boards, I cleaned them very good. I had taken a brush and I had bleached them, scrubbed them out, and then let them dry out inside so that they didn't warp or anything like that. And I got this whim to take down all my cabinets in my kitchen and put them downstairs because I have a kind of a den-like area that I mentioned before that I built this 22-foot family table. But I have it down there in the basement and it's made up like a den, but there's a little area in there. I'm trying to build like this little kitchenette. And I thought, well, I can move my cabinets from up here because they're kind of dated and put them downstairs. And then when I get ready to kind of put a stove or something like that down there, then we can, I can utilize those cabinets. So that's what I did. I just kind of started unscrewing crap and was holding them up and trying to get them, and I took them all down and run them downstairs. I did have to get my son to come by here and help me with one of them because one of them was like this long section and I could not get it by myself, and I had gotten it outside on the porch and I was like, oh my gosh, son, I have kind of messed up. I've gotten this stuff out on the porch, and if I don't go ahead and get it downstairs, I think it's supposed to rain. And so after he'd worked all day long, he came by here and he helped me move them downstairs. But then I decided to put these boards up on my walls of my kitchen. And as you can see, they kind of are lined. And then I also took and made some shelving out of them. So I thought it was kind of neat. As you see, it kind of wraps around. And then for, oh, it's on this side too, just a little bit. But I like the open shelving type concept. It's really not finished either. I have a section over there, which I'll show you now, that I am needing to, I need to paint the back of them because I did not have enough boards to do those. But I got some other reclaimed wood, bleached it as well, and made these shelves right here to put all of my stuff that I don't use all the time, pots, pans, whatever, on there. And then I put the same thing over here. Oh, which way is my arm going? Right here and made shelving over there on the other side of the refrigerator, and put some of the kind of bigger items, bulkier items that I don't use all the time, my air fryer, as you can see, toaster oven, things like that, that I can put there, and then be able to, I have a plug behind there too, and I have all the the cords hanging behind there, and then I can plug in whatever I want to use and then use it. So I thought that was kind of neat. I enjoy doing things like that, and that's kind of one of the things that I said I was doing as far as a project that I just get on a whim and do it. But I need to get that finished too, so I need to put that on my to-do list. And I was making a to-do list when I got distracted and started making this video. And it was funny because I thought, like I said before, I was going to be this, I was going to have a homestead, and I didn't realize it was like, okay, I'm not going to have time for that because I work full time. But I did, I do have time to raise animals, and so I did. My boyfriend and I processed some chickens and some pigs, and they're in the freezer, and they are delicious. They were homegrown, and I was able to love them and kiss them and hug them and make sure they were safe and protect them, and bad weather coming, I would make sure they were okay, things like that. And so I feel better about that when I can eat that. But anyway, I mentioned my boyfriend John Beard. He has a store on Highway 29 in Casita, Alabama is what it's considered, but the highway runs through Valley and then connects down into Opelika. It's called Highway 29. And his store is called 29 Tack and Supply. That's where I get all my, of course, where I get all my feed and stuff from. And this t-shirt, what's the tank top I'm wearing? It's a Spin'em tank top. They do sell the Spin'em hats. They sell saddles, bridles, blankets, feed, all sorts of things. And of course they wheel and deal horses. That's not connected with the business. And horse trailers, whatever. You contact John Beard and he can find you anything. And so can his son Kyle. Just that was just a disclaimer on that. But as you can see, I don't have a green thumb. My daughter gave me this for Mother's Day. Pitiful little orchid. She told me she couldn't get hers to live either. She told me, she said, somebody said online if you put 2 ice cubes once a week in there, it'll be just enough water. So that's what I've been doing, and I don't think it's working. I don't know if maybe it's not getting enough sun. But this is the dilemma I dealt with when I had a garden. I spent all this money planting this garden, and I had this fantasy of this raised bed thing, and then all my plants died. I didn't water them much, I don't think. But when I did, I don't think it was enough. And then we had those gully washers of rain, and it just killed them. So that's a good thing, because that was last year, and after that is when I started looking into carnivore, and I've gone carnivore, and I love it. Like I said before, I am down 22 pounds now, and I feel wonderful, and I think a lot of that was swelling and inflammation in my joints and stuff, because I don't have any joint pain anymore. I don't have any cramping in my fingers. Don't have any pain in my fingers when I work really hard outside. My gut was bloated. Y'all, I thought I had a giant tumor. I really did. I was like, man, I have got to have something going on besides bloating, because it's not like I've got a lot of gas or burping or whatever. It's just, it was bloated. I looked like I was about 7 months pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I've got a giant fibroid. So my OBGYN did ultrasound and said, no, it's not. So I was kind of disappointed. I didn't have a giant fibroid they could take out. I was like, well, it must be my diet. So that's when I cleaned it up, and it went away. Flat, completely flat, no problem. So I'm really glad about that. But y'all, I would look strongly at doing the carnivore diet. And I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, because people who are heavy on carbs and stuff like that, you do need to kind of go to keto first, and that will reduce the keto flu, and then go to carnivore. But I have not felt this good in 10 years. I know, 10 years. And I had gotten to the point where I was like, every morning, am I going to wake up with body aches, joint pain? Like, you know, I was like, I mean, somebody's going to think I'm trying to claim fibromyalgia or something. I don't know what was going on. It was just I was achy. And I do not do that now. Um, and I did get a keto meter and stuff like that. I'm kind of keeping up with that just to see how the foods affect me. And I'm not in like heavy ketosis. I've been in like 1.5, 1.3 or something like that for several days. But I had one day that I ate off of the keto diet. I mean, not off of it really. I ate carnivore almost all day. And then that evening I did eat like some potato salad and things like that. And I only ate a small portion of them, but it did throw me out of ketosis, and then it took me another week to go back in. So I'm just kind of getting the feeling of how this works. But it's kind of funny because we all have layers, and I'm not going to say, oh, I'm so keto, carnivore that when I go to a restaurant, they better not put a seasoning on my steak. Nothing like that. I'll go to a restaurant, I'll order the steak, whatever the way they cook it, and just go from there. Tell them, and then my sides, I'll either give them away or tell them don't worry about bringing out the sides. Whatever. We all have different layers to us and how we deal with things. But if I go out to eat with friends and they pick the restaurant and they invite me to go out to eat, I'm not gonna not go. I'll eat a small portion, and I'll ask about maybe fried wings with no like I guess I should say like hot wings, but with no seasoning or anything on them, just plain. And make sure there's no batter or anything like that. Or I'll order a steak or something like that. You know, I'll order and have fun and just hang out. So I think that you have to keep your life fluid. I think you have to keep everything going close to normal as possible. And if you make this too strict, and if you think, oh my gosh, I can't eat anything anymore, like nothing, then you will crash and burn, because it's not about that. It's about feeling great. I mean, I just wanted everybody to be happy and feeling good. I had a 26-year-old patient, 26, who was less than 100 pounds overweight. Less than 100 pounds. And is scheduled for bypass surgery in September. Bypass surgery. I asked her what diets had she been put on or had her provider discussed. And she said, they just told me to eat healthy. I said, did they talk to you about low carb? Did they put you on keto? Did they do any of that? She said, no, they just told me to eat healthy. And I said, well, what is eating healthy for you? And she said, well, you know, all the low-fat stuff and all the low-fat snacks, and I eat a lot of salads. And I said, do you put dressing? Well, yeah, I put dressing on it. So the sugary dressings, no nutrients in the salad. If she did, she probably did. If she did any meat, it was probably low chicken because she was trying to be low fat. All the treats with all the preservatives and all the added sugar and all the added salt and those things that they say low net carbs, but when they process, they are just like alcohol. 3 carbs in a White Claw processes to be a whole heck of a lot more than that, because alcohol turns to sugar. So it just broke my heart. And I told her, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, as you know, as not just a provider, but as somebody that, you know, considers you a human being and a friend, please at least go keto. And I printed her off information about the keto diet. Please just at least go keto until September and do what you want to do. Whatever you feel led to do, do. But if you at least try this, you may have a chance to not have to have bypass surgery. And my hope and prayer, y'all pray for her. My hope and prayer is that she gets on this and that she loses the weight and she doesn't go under the knife. Because so many people say that once they have these surgeries or they have a stomach reduction surgery, whatever, they can't even eat enough nutrients to make them healthy again. So I just wanted to come to you guys and tell you little tidbits about that. But y'all try that. What did I call it? What did I say it was? Oh, Carne Picada. Try that, and y'all let me know how you like it. I don't know. Like I said, I think it'd be okay just to kind of have something quick to eat, put it in a bowl, and just kind of walk around the house cleaning and just eat it. But it's nothing that I would actually set aside and decide I'm going to cook it. So you guys have a very blessed day. And remember, I love you, I care about you, and you are on my prayer list.